Nigeria is more than headlines and hashtags. This is Let's Know Naija, Kanyi, where we'll discover the people, cultures, ideas, journeys that define us. Let's know stories that shape us.
Welcome to Let's Know Naija, Kaimara, a median edition of the program. And your host is Comrade Odogwu Odogwu, PhD, JP. And you have a program that you can showcase yourself, your community, your project, your business, your group, your club, anything that you will talk about to showcase Nigeria to the world. This is the program you are looking for. We'll be featuring a personality that you would love to hear from. She's an American author, a psychologist, an educationist, and she's no other person than Dr. Mrs. Felicia Ekwutosi Ibezim Okeke, a US-based author and psychologist. She's numerous things in one, and she has done pretty well for herself. And today she's going to talk about her education, her life in the US, how the husband didn't want to wed her in the church, what happened after, and why she doesn't want Nigerian children to be migrating to abroad, and even if they want to migrate, what they should do, and how she has worked for several years and retired 7 years before her retirement age, and so many other things that are interesting. Even she wants a regional government for Nigeria. Let's hear from the source. Thank you very much.
We bring you an inspiring conversation with a distinguished Nigerian American author, scholar, and educationist, Dr. Felicia Ibezim, at her residence in Enugu on February 7th, 2026, during her visit to Nigeria. In this exclusive interview, she shares deep insights on diverse areas of life. Dr. Felicia Ibezim's journey is one of resilience, intellect, and purpose. Stay with us as she shares her story, her struggles, and her wisdom.
My name is Dr. Mrs. Felicia Ekwutosi Ibezim. I live in New York, but I'm originally from Oka, Anambra State, and got married in Igbo, Imo State. My childhood was very exciting. I come from a modest home. My parents were just civil servants. They were struggling to send us to college. But ever since I was a little child, I've always been curious about reading and writing. So I started very early to read. And my father saw that this Adora is something else. So he said, whether I have money or not, my daughter will go to any level of education she wants. So because of that, my father, he's dead now. After my secondary school as girls' high school, Ogidi, they call it Ogidi Girls at that time. After the secondary school, I went to University of Benin, Obo campus, and I graduated in 1985. And then I proceeded to do my first master's degree in guidance and counseling at the University of Nigeria in Nsukka. And I graduated there in 1989. Then in 1991, I met my husband. My husband was residing in New York. So it's interesting how we met. So in 1991 or 92, I got married. I wedded in 1992. But prior to that, I was teaching in Federal Polytechnic, Ogo, as a young lecturer. So when I met him, we got married, and then I joined him in the United States. There, I proceeded to I received a culture shock. I thought I would just go straight and do PhD, but not in US. They want you to start from beginning. So that's why I proceeded to do my second master's degree in educational psychology in New York University in New York. So from there I got admission to do my doctorate degree in the same educational psychology at Capella University and graduated in 2008. That's interesting, yes. Since my life seems to be stranger than fiction. Everything about me is so different from other people. Some people meet and date, and it's a good thing that I didn't date because if I keep dating, I might not find somebody I'm gonna marry. So my husband was introduced to me by somebody. To that, my husband has been very, very selective. They thought he has already married in US, that he's just coming here to pretend. Once he saw me, he said, "This is the one I'm gonna marry." And then the father said, "No." The father said, "No. We have to do investigations, go and find out how my parents is, their background." My husband said, the next day they started a traditional marriage. It was like 10 days because he has to leave. And then he left and came back. Came back. He can be very stubborn. He said there's no wedding. He's not gonna wed. He doesn't believe in Christian church wedding. I said, no. I'm a lecturer at Odogwu Polytechnic. How would they see? I'm supposed to be setting an example. How would they see their lecturer getting married without wedding in church? That's why he agreed. So in 1992, he came back and we had the wedding at Cathedral of Transfiguration in Owerri. And that was it. After that, a year later, I joined him in New York. As people always call me trailblazer or pace setter, I always want to make a difference. I find out that when I was growing up, all the female professors, they dress dowdy, they dress in, I don't know how to describe it, but very, very strict skirt and blouse kind of thing. And I wanted to change. I wanted to tell the younger generations that you can be beautiful, you can be kind, you can be highly educated and still be humble, and you can also be fashionable. You don't have to have, because you're a professor, you're going to be dull and unexcited. You can be fashionable, you can be kind, you can be beautiful, you can also reach this type of culture, if I may use the word. They look at the celebrities dressing scantily, and they think they will get it. That is the fashionable thing to do, that is a trendy thing to do, and some people cannot just use their common sense and see how you dress. Dress responsibly, but also fashionably. So our youth should not follow everything they see on TV or media. So, talking about my multi-career endeavors, I teach in college. You guys call it university. We call it college mostly over there. I call it university over there, but I teach in college, and also I'm a psychologist too, so I do psychological counseling. So, but while I'm doing this, it's not enough for me. While raising 4 kids, I have to dive into writing and publishing. I love writing. I started writing at the age of 18. If people are reading, I wouldn't be where I can't be struggling like a poor woman. The way I'm struggling now, if people are reading books. So I started writing when I was in college, my first year in college, and then when I finished. So I've always loved writing. And then I decided, because when I was in Nigeria, they don't want to publish young people like us that has no influence. They always publish people that are celebrities or professors, governors, and so on. Me, they don't want to publish me. So what happened? When I joined my husband, I decided to start my own publishing company, me and my husband. So we have what is called a bigger publishing company, which the white people call Economical publishing. And I've been laughing when they try to mispronounce the name. So later on, I changed it to Orange Publishing. Because I love writing books, I continue to write, despite the fact that people don't read anymore. I've written over 40 manuscripts, I can't even count, and I published about 23. So I keep writing for legacy, not for money anymore, because people don't buy books anymore. They don't even read the ones online, which is frustrating for Dr. Odogwu. That's a very good question, because this thing bothers me a lot. There's nothing you cannot do in Nigeria. There's so much stress over there. You people think it's easy because you get the dollars and you change it. It's not easy. You have to work 10,000 times over. First of all, you are being discriminated because of your color. You are being discriminated because you're African. You are being discriminated because of your accent. Let me give an example. I like to say this so people will be courageous enough to do whatever they want to do. On joining my husband in 6 months, I was lucky enough to get teaching in one of these private colleges. And then I went to the board to teach them, and I said, car, C-A-R, car. And the student said, what do you mean? I wrote it on the board, C-A-R. And the students laughed at me and said, you mean call? So I said, yeah, call. So I laughed at myself. So a lot of us that are there don't want to teach in college because we're afraid that they will laugh at us. And they do laugh at us. Why people will laugh? But you have to have courage. So coming to the point that Nigerians are ready to kill themselves to come over there, please. There are a lot of natural, so many resources here that can make you great. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have to go to US. If you have an opportunity, you can go there. Because people are telling us, oh, why are you there? I went there because I got married. But when I was in Oko, I was doing very well. I had a car before I got married. I published my book, The Man from New York, at the Economical Press Center. I was doing a lot of things. If you put in hard work, you do not have to die on these high seas. I keep writing about it, please. Stay here. It's just that we have bad governance. If we put our minds to things, we don't need to stress ourselves there. When you go there, you discriminate. Africa is there at the bottom. That is why I always want to introduce myself, because they give you respect. That's another thing. When you're a doctor, even though you don't have money, the white people will give you respect. Or it's other people that might not feel somehow. So my advice is, please manage what you have here. But if you have opportunity to go there, but don't kill yourself. Don't sell your property. Don't go online and get people that will promise you that you're gonna get visa and they will take your money and go. Just do the best you can. And you people forget the fact that you have helpers here. In America, I have to raise 4 kids with my husband before he passed away. 4 kids. In the morning, you have to know help. You have to take all of them to school before you go to your own school to teach. Sometimes you'll be so late that the students will disappear. Let me tell you what happened to me, because I carried Nigerian culture over there. I'm always only late. So usually in Oku Polytechnic, when I'm late, the students will be waiting for me. So I was teaching in Queen's College, and then I was late for 15 minutes or more than 15 minutes. Before I come to the class, the students have disappeared. It was a culture shock for me. And then they told me that you have to reschedule, because there's an institutionalized permission for students to leave after 15 minutes if the professor does not show up. So I learned that one. So I know I was never late again. And if I'm late, I have to reschedule. So there's a lot of adjustments you have to make. So please, I don't want my kids to be dying in the high seas just because they want to go over there. It's not that easy. Here you have help. Over there you don't have help. A lot of our men, Igbo men, want to come home, but because of so many frustrations here, because of our governance here, we are stranded there. So, but we cannot give up. question. Yes, ever since I was young, I've always liked to help the poor and the less privileged. I can even take my last thing and give to people. So that's why I keep dreaming. If I'm all these billionaires, if I'm all these billionaires, what will I do? I'll go transform the whole country, like Dr. Godwin Maduka, thank you. He went and transformed the Umuchu and called Umuchuku now, transform the village.
From Nkerehi to Umuchuku.
Oh, Nkerehi to Umuchuku. That is something I can do if I have money. But I keep telling God, why don't you give me money so I can do this? Why are you giving it to these people that are not helping the people? But the little one I have, I'm using it to help humanity and uplift the masses. For example, I started before, I have a number of charity projects. Because I'm a widow, my husband died very early, 21 years ago. I've been struggling. So I decided to help the widow. So I have a young widows project, not old widows because their children are grown. It's the young ones that died early. So I give them small amount of money to start business. And then after the widows project, I have what is it called? Feed the hungry. Feed the hungry. I started with Indomie. They call me Indomie woman. Indomie woman. After I distributed bags and bags of cartons or boxes of Indomie to make sure that people get something to eat. And then I decided to be giving them cash because it's better. Let them go buy, even if it's onions. Because some of them will have rice and then they will not have something to cook it. So I said, okay, let me start giving the villagers cash so they can buy whatever they want. So that one. Then I veered into community development. Because my husband was a professor and I'm also a professor and I love books, I wanted to start, even before my husband died, I told him I'm going to build a library in your town. So but by the time I'm ready, I found out that nobody's reading books anymore. So that's why I started, I built a center that is called the first solar-powered library and computer center in my husband's place, Amigo, in memory of my late husband. So if you go there, you see the signboard, Dr. David Ikechukwu Computer Center. It's right there in Amigo. So for my main aim is for youths like you guys and even women to go there to not be left back by the digital world, so they know how to learn computer and everything. But I found out that they're not even interested so much because everybody is running for survival and people have phone. So many people are not even going there, and I'm having challenges with computer teachers there. So that's it. Then, because two men are instrumental to my success, apart from God, who is the one that has given me all the strength and resilience to run around, I decided to honor my father after doing charity work in Amigo, because some people were asking me, why do you start in your husband's place? Why are you forgetting Oka or Anambra? So I told them, listen, I am doing it according to need. Oka people have money. They are more, not that all of them have money, but they are doing better than my husband's people. So that's why I started with my husband's people. After 4 years, I decided to go build a multi-purpose community hall or event center because it has 2-story building. I wanted to do one hall, community hall for the villagers, but they begged me to do it upstairs. You know, you guys like upstairs. So I built one, so 2 upstairs. You guys call it a story building? We will call it 2-story building over there. So I built that, not just for community conferences or meetings, but for them to be renting it out for birthdays, celebrations, Christmas, wakekeeping, and all those things. And now they're getting income there. I don't have to worry about that one. But computer center, I have to pay the staff over there from my salary. And guess what? And I'm going to say this, No matter what I do, people think I have money. Nobody wants to donate to anything I'm doing. Nobody. I don't know whether it's my destiny or what. I call everybody, even the millionaires I know, they will not donate anything. So I can't stop. So I keep using my money to do the much I can do. So I also have a scholarship program in Igbo, actually where I have 10 students that apart from friends and relations that I'm paying school fees for, I have 10 students, small kids that I have to train them up to as much as I can, that I'm giving scholarships. So every semester or term, I give them, I pay for their school to build this house. In Enugu, but I told the structural engineer, leave it, go to Oka and build the house first. Okay. Build the thing for the villagers first before my own. Okay. So sometimes you have to balance it. No regrets whatsoever. But as a human being, you get upset or annoyed that people, once you stop giving them money, become enemy. You've been giving them money all this time. The moment you stop, they get upset with you. What is this? So sometimes I keep asking people, is everybody entitled to my money? Other millionaires have money and they go, nobody gets upset with them. But my own, they seem to be entitled to my money. So there are some ingrates, but we cannot stop what we are doing. I can never regret helping people because good ones appreciate. And besides, we're doing it for humanity and God. If you look at people, I always tell them, if I look at you guys' behavior, I will never help anybody. So, I don't know. I think I was born with it, to help the poor people. I want to enjoy. At the same time, I want others to enjoy too. I like luxury. And if I can provide luxury for other people, that's good. I don't think there's anything. I think it's inborn me to help people right from day one. So that's why I keep saying, if I have money, they're dreaming. If I have money, I'll do this, do this. Yeah, because let me tell you what they have a show in US or New York. They called The Young and the Restless. The young and restless means that they don't rest, they just keep on doing things. So now that I'm getting old, I changed myself and said the old and the restless. I am always restless. It's always one thing after another. It's always one thing after another. I don't rest. So that's why I was able to grapple all these things and that I'm doing. Yeah, publishing in Amazon is easy. Just go online and go to Central Marketplace and then fill out the form and then show your books over there. Though sometimes I'm too busy that even when they order the book, I tell them it's no longer there. Why? Because nobody to go mail the books to them. Social conscious, I have a YouTube channel that I produce what is called Social Conscience. And that was after I retired. You see what I'm telling you? Because I was on point of breaking down, teaching, counseling, writing, publishing. Oh, I didn't even tell you about another career, which is real estate. I'm coming to that. Okay. And real estate. I was on point of breaking down, so I decided to retire early. So, so I decided to start, instead of being idle and just being lazy at home, I started the Social Conscience YouTube video series, where I indulge, make people aware of the cultural, social, political, and social, and economic affairs of the. Some people are not aware of what's happening, so I'm using my video to explain and make them aware of what is going on in the society. Oh, I have to be honest with this. There's no need being politically correct. I don't believe in illusionary one Nigeria. It's not even supposed to be. Nigeria is amalgamation failure. This is Lulugard bringing people that are from different ethnic groups together, forced us together, and it's not working. It hasn't worked since we had an independence. So what I will suggest at this point is regional autonomy. And I've been proposing it, I've been writing it down all the time, that we should divide Nigeria into 5 regions. Northwest region, Northeast region, Middle Belt region, Southwest region, and Southeast region. 5 autonomous regions. So that we will be able to do things ourselves. For example, I am worried, I am concerned that we have Onitsha market and we're not able to have seaport in Onitsha. In the east, for how many years? Over 50 years, the war is over. Why is that? And I traveled to through Enugu International Airport, and it looks like a domestic, it doesn't even look like a domestic airport. Nothing. It's not into standard as international airport. So, but if you have our sovereignty, if you have our own regional autonomy, our government will be able to do things. Because I asked, because something I don't know, I always ask, I said, why is it that we can't do it on our own? They say you have to get a certain kind of permission from the federal government before you do it. And there was a time they want to do it, somebody stopped it. I don't want to call the name. So, really, Nigeria is due for regional autonomy. We cannot coexist anymore. Otherwise, this thing will continue. The marginalization of Igbos will continue. Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, I have so many titles, or Afro-tutu, they call it Afro-tutu. It's a lot. I actually have to write it down. As soon as they give it to me, or somebody just call me down, I'll write it down, like Adade or Rama of Oka. Then the Army Igbo people said, Ugo Simba, one of Army Igbo. And then I have Odembo Eme. And then they gave me award of Ugebo Oma. If you look at my titles, my videos, whenever I prefix it with my Afro-tutu, like Ochilo Ozoa, because I'm giving scholarship to people, so I'm sending some people to school, so they call me Ochilo Ozoa. And then some people, Odembo Eme. There are so many, Agumwani, Ezewani. There are so many names, it's up to 20, I listed them there. So, but it doesn't, I appreciate it, but it doesn't get to my head, because I'm used to getting all these things before. I said 12 days. That is why I'm now advocating for us to come home, so that children will come home. What is the point of building all this? Some people have mansions everywhere, and their children are not doesn't even care. So that is a concern. My point is that it's a concern. A lot of Igbo men and women are worried, especially Igbo men are really not happy that after we suffered all these things, take them to school, go through all these things, and nobody to carry up their legacy. Like all this charity work I'm doing. I'm not saying they're not interested. Maybe when they are older, because my oldest one is 31, maybe when they are older, then maybe they will do it. But that's a lot of concern. We are calling them kind of lost generation. That might be a big, a strong word to use. But if they don't come home, they are lost generation. They are there. So that is why I want Nigeria to be good, so that we can all come home, and our children will come home. At least if you have 4 children, 2 of them will decide to come home with you. But if you are there, struggling, frustrated everywhere, you come here, frustrations, you go to America, frustrations, you won't be able to bring them home. But, but I really want us to come home. I want Nigeria to be good, or Southeast to be good, so that we feel comfortable to come home. have youth programs in the churches where we tell them the importance of our culture, Igbo culture, and we also have people come to speak to them. But remember, America is so Republican and very individualistic. When you call them, most of them don't come, they don't care. So my only distance, some of them do come, but still that culture is so, the individualistic culture is so strong that they don't want to listen. We are trying our best, but my own suggestion is let's go home. As they have been pushing them, let's go home. Even if we have to stay 6 months, let's go home so that our children will be tempted to come home. If you stay there, they're not going to come home. Yeah, as I said, I prefer regional economy and I want very good governance because the problem with Nigeria is governance. We don't have somebody like Dr. L.S. Oti that will care for the people, that will just serve. You are called there to serve. You serve, not to go and amass wealth while others are suffering. How can you see people suffering and you have trillions of naira and billions of dollars in account? Does it make sense? And when you die, that money goes with you. The ones they put in Switzerland, the money they put in Switzerland, once they die, they use it to develop their own country. That is what I don't understand. What is it that they don't have the mindset? Listen, I am kind of unique in my approach. I was saying, all these looters of Nigerian treasury, okay, loot the money, get the money, but invest in Nigeria. So that youth will get employment, so they can have something to do. Don't take it over there. America has a policy, whether they follow you strictly or not, you don't have to come home, come outside, go outside the United States with more than $10,000. That is the policy. Sometimes you can go, but it's the rule. If they want to make it, they will take the money from you, and they have to explain why you have to take more than $10,000. Why do you think America is doing it? Because they want to preserve the money. They want people like us that are in real estate to keep buying real estate there, developing America, doing everything. So it boggles my mind why Nigerians will get all this money and shift it to London, to US, to Switzerland, to any other place other than Nigeria. So get the money, you loot the money, you cannot stop you from looting the money. But please use it to build factories, build industries, build schools and hospitals.
Yes.
And what about all these billionaires? You can build, like Dr. Koye, build state-of-art hospital. Is that not so? In Southeast, is it what I call Dr. Koye? Yeah. Some of all these, you can do it. If the government doesn't want to do it, do it. And then rich people can go there, people that can afford to go there, they will go there. Why? How many years? No good hospitals, no federal hospitals. And they are bent on taking money, so that you and I will keep on suffering. I can't understand it. And the children cannot finish all this money in this generation. They cannot. And when the person is dead, especially the one they put over there, the money is over. So why not invest it here? Remember, when I was the University of Benin, one of our professors, it stuck to my mind how many years, decades later. He was saying that if you have 5 of Obasanjo farms, remember Obasanjo have a farm? He said 5 of them will feed the whole nation. Why is somebody not farming? Why is somebody that have all this money farm and employ people? I cannot understand. Women don't care about the issues that are political issues, economic issues, cultural issues. They just think in those days we have to leave everything to men. Not anymore. The world has changed. Women should help their husbands. Women should help in the governance. Women should participate in politics. We need their voices to be heard, because you'll be surprised, a woman will come out with a very good idea of how to govern or how to make things easier for us. So I'm appealing to women once again, because I've been writing it. We need your voices to be heard. You need to support your husbands, your brothers, and your children. Thank you. I'm concerned about the Nigerians being perpetually ruled by old people. People that have lost touch with reality because they don't know how to navigate this internet system. They don't know about all the trending things, and they're just there because they have money. They were able to get there because they have money. I am of the older generation, but I am of the view that will give the younger generation a chance to rule because they are faster in their feet, in their thinking. Because when you have old people, their minds, the dementia will set in, they won't even know what they're doing. They pee on their diaper or pant, like one of the African leaders over there. Sorry, I have to say the truth. One of the African leaders was peeing. They showed over there. Why must we have this kind of presidency? There's one that is 93, doesn't even know anything. It's people around him that are running the thing, running the government to the ground. Why must we? We should change, and I'm advocating. In America, you have 35, the age limit to contest for presidency is 35 years up. And I'm suggesting that we'll copy that from 35 years at maximum of 70 years, because 70 years will still need their experience, maximum of 70 years and not more. If you're over 70 years, be the statesman, guide the young, guide the other people. Don't go there to stay for life. We should stop all this so that we'll see whether we can move the nation along. Yeah, I have 2 books on narcissism. I found out that the world is becoming very selfish and very narcissistic, especially our leaders too. So I decided to explore why they are the same. They are very selfish, extremely selfish, self-preoccupied, self-centered, to the exclusion of helping other people. So that's why I made that research to write on narcissism and also gave suggestions on how to deal with narcissism, except if you have a narcissist leader, you have a narcissist father or husband, or we have narcissism in women, but it's called histrionic personality disorder. So there are tips on how to deal with this kind of people, because once it's with them, they cannot change. It's because it's a rule. You can't say they're even more cultured or more respectful. It's the rule in place. What I did, I'm not excusing it, is taking advantage that I'm a professor and then I'll arrive late. Even though it's not my fault. I have to go drop, my husband has to drop 2 kids and I have to drop 2 kids. Before at that time I wasn't even driving. I have to take 3 subways to get to Queen's College to teach. 2 subways and 1 bus. So I'm not going to excuse what I did, even though I have excuses. So I don't think they are more cultured, even though I like the respect. They don't have to leave the class. But the rules has to be followed. The professor has no right to keep the students waiting. If I inherited it from my parents, it would be from my dad, because my dad doesn't have money. But everybody comes to him for help. He keeps giving them money, even though he doesn't have. So I think if it's inherited, because sometimes you don't inherit something, you are just born that way. So if it's inherited, I got it from my dad. Yeah, it's not easy. Real estate is not easy, it's so stressful because you have to deal with contractors, you have to deal with ordinary handymen, you have to deal with the government regulations and everything. Personally, what I specialize in is not just being a broker or agent. What I specialize in buying foreclosures that I can afford. Foreclosures, I mean distressed properties that the government foreclosed. That is, if you are not able to pay your taxes, if you are not able to pay your mortgage, you guys can build a house like this with your money. There, you have to take a mortgage for 30 years. So some people, after some time, they lose their job or they cannot cope with the mortgage. So when they fail to pay, the bank will take the house from them. or the government will take the house from them if they don't pay taxes or water bills. In that case, it's called foreclosure, and the government and the bank will make it so low that people will come and buy, and that's where I come in. So I buy a lot of foreclosures or distressed properties and fix it, and then rent it out. Sometimes I fix it and sell, sometimes I rent it out. But I found out that being a landlord, oh my God, the stress is so much. At the middle of the night, they will call you that faucet is bad. So you'll be surprised that when I retired, I'm supposed to focus on that. No, I retired, I stopped being a landlord. So nobody will call me at the middle of the night. So what I do is, when it is not now, because the price has risen now, I'm not doing the real estate anymore. So what I do now is just buy, fix, and sell. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. One of my programs is an advocate for women and youths. They know me that I advocate for women and youths. And I'm the type that doesn't follow conventions. I don't follow conventions at all. I just do what I want to do. So I've always wanted women inclusion in government, because they have, I don't know whether to say that I don't know whether to say they don't take bribes so much like men. The men is gonna kill me. But I think women are more considerate, considerate of the masses, because they have children. Because of that, they don't try to take all the money. That's my view. I might be wrong. Secondly, about women, we need women. For example, Natasha of Kogi State also, look at what he's doing. We need people like her. We need men to give women a chance to rule, to see whether it's going to work or not. But all these people with money bags will not allow women or young people like you guys to come into the governance. So to your question, absolutely yes. The women should be allowed to participate in the good governance of the nation and to be up and doing, to have their parents, to be fashionable. Look at me in my list, I don't care, I dance because it makes me happy. And so they call me dancing professor. If you want to do anything, go ahead and do it, because there will be naysayers. People will always talk no matter what you do. So go ahead and do what you want to do. That's what I'm asking everybody. Go ahead. Whatever you, men, women, want to do, please go ahead and do. What people will say has killed so many dreams. What people will say. Remember that woman that was killed by the husband? That singer.
Osinachi.
Osinachi, yeah. Osinachi. The brothers and sisters were telling him, come out of this marriage. Say, oh, people will talk. Thank you.
She's in the grave and people are talking.
Thank you, my dear. It's in the grave and people are talking. So, do whatever you want to do. Be bold and courageous. And you see, you're going to do well. If I'm listening to people, I won't be where I am today. I just want them to elect the right candidate, whoever that person might be. The right candidate. Don't elect people because they give you a bag of rice. Don't elect people because they give you lumps of money, because once you finish eating that rice for 1 month, it's gone, and then you have to suffer the next 4 years. So just do the right thing. Forget about rice for now, or money for now. Just do the right thing and elect whoever that is going to serve you best. And that reminds me, I didn't tell you that a lot of times they've touted me to be Commissioner of Women Affairs, Women Affairs, or Commissioner of Education, or even Deputy Governor of certain state. I don't want to call the name. But I say, no, I am scared of Nigerian politics. I will not be able to do all those things, even if it come to pass. The people were telling me, don't worry. And because I said, I will be so overwhelmed if they elect me, for example, Commissioner of Women Affairs or Commissioner of Education, because of my interest in education. My people was telling me, my friends were telling me, don't worry, you don't have to do everything. I said, because I know so many people, they will put so much pressure on me. Even before they even made me any commissioner or anything. People, my friends were pressurizing me. Oh, I need to come home so that you can make me coordinator of health. I need to come home so that, do you know, let me tell you the truth. I didn't know the meaning of PA until they started this thing that they want to make me commissioner of something. And so everybody was struggling to be my PA. And I said, what is PA? That's when I know the meaning of PA. So they were trying to console me that I wouldn't be under pressure, that the PA will be handling people for you. So okay, I said, okay, maybe I can do that because I really want to help people. I want to help the youth and the women in particular.